Are we on? Happy Saturday. Or maybe you're watching the recording of this, but right now it is live stream. I have a little cough, but we're going to focus today on lunges and lungs. So the lunge, which gives us an opportunity to strengthen and stretch. Some lunges also include a back bend. We're going to work on safety for the low back. And in terms of the lungs part, guess what? Breathing, 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 breathing. How we use breath to find a deeper posture or to find what is right for us in the moment of that posture. We're going to start standing. Now, that's not to everyone's liking, but we are. Mountain pose. Welcome to Salt and Sand Studios. My name is Karen. This is a 50-minute yoga intermissions, which will have a little bit of a flow, but for the most part, as I said, we'll focus on lunges and the breath. The shoulders soften away from the ears. Palms face forward if they can. Maybe you find a little rocking on all four corners of the feet. Move into stability when it makes sense. Mountain pose. Chin is slightly tucked. The top of the back of the head is slightly pressed back. The heart is sort of lifted right from the pelvis. Inhale the arms wide and then up overhead. Press the palms together. Bring your hands to your heart. Samastiti. Drop your hands, mountain pose. A little swinging left and right with your arms like a helicopter, a maple nose. You might go ahead and tap or gently hit yourself, getting some of the blood flowing, the lymph nodes flowing if you go under the arms. And then pause again in mountain. Arms lift out, palms face up. We remain here. What do you feel in the palms of your hands? Breathe in. Breathe out. Fill the lungs. Release. Deep, deep, deep breath. Let it go. Arms lift overhead, breath in. Nice V. Bring your feet a little bit wider. I'm going to take a little energy cleansing approach, a sort of Tai Chi, Qigong kind of orientation. So face your palms down, and as you breathe out, bend the knees, press the palms downward. It's like we're working in a bubble. Arms lift out and up, knees straighten, legs lengthen, breathe in. Exhale, palms down, pressing the energy from the sky all the way down through the body. And then we lift up, getting rid of any negative energy. Let it go into the air. 2 more of these. Last one. We're going to take it the other way. I'm going to face the palms up. We're going to lift, 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 lift. And then the arms out and down. Bend your knees. Like we're gathering up beautiful energy and nutrients from the soil and creating a bubble for ourselves of this wonderfulness. 3 more. Last one. I'm going to take another lung or pranayama exercise, pranayama. I'm going to lift the arms overhead. We're in a V. We're going to face the backs of the hands forward, and we're going to sweep the energy away behind us like a wide-legged chair or like we're skiing. Lift up. Lift up. Lift up. 2 more. Hands to your heart. You're welcome to bring your feet a little closer together. That might have warmed you up. Feeling pretty warm myself. Find your toes without looking down. Press them into the earth. And then scrunch them up like you're drawing your mat toward your heel. And then lift the toes, spread them wide, press them down again. Scrunch them up, like a toe fist. Sounds kind of weird. And one more time. Balls of feet on the ground, toes are lifted up, toes are spread nice and wide. One at a time, starting with the pinky toes. Bring your toes back to the mat. Now scrunch them up like you're drawing the mat toward your feet. Nice. Toes come down. We're going to rise onto the balls of the feet, fortifying your ankles so the heels are coming right behind you. It's not that easy. I remember as a kid, ice skating was really, really hard because I had, I guess people called it weak ankles. But with yoga, I do a little bit better. Although it might have made a difference, I was wearing boys' hockey skates. And bring your heels back down. Hands at your heart, eyes closed. Feel yourself rising upward from the earth. The inner arches of the feet are a little lifted. And you feel the energy move up the inseams to your hips. From your hips all the way to your chest and shoulders. And from your shoulders up your neck to the crown of your head. Consider your motivation for your practice today. Or maybe it's an intention. Maybe it's something you want to focus on, or an aspiration, a behavior you aspire to. Allow the breath to flow freely. Drop your hands by your sides. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Uttanasana. Find your halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Hands can be in your shins, belly is in, shoulders toward your hips. Sitting bones reach behind. You're using all of the foot on both feet. All of the sole of the foot and the toes. Exhale, release. Inhale, float to standing. Exhale, cactus shape arms. Spread those elbows wide. Get them nice and high. Fingers like you mean it. Lift. Tuck your tailbone just a wee bit. Eagle arms, right elbow comes under left, 1 wrap, or 2 elbows lift shoulder height or higher. We're opening up the back. We're fortifying the glutes a little bit. We're not locking the knees, but we are sort of drawing the kneecaps upward toward the quads. We're going to take a little turn over to the right. Inhale, center, so you can keep your hips squared, and a little turn over to the left. Front and center, hands drop. Inhale, arms out and up. Cactus shape once again. Squeeze a nice little baby back bend for the very beginning of practice. Open up. Eagle arms other way. Left under right. Just felt my spine pop a little bit. It felt really good. This time we're going to go over to the left first, to center, and over to the right. Front and center, arms back in the cactus shape. And then we drop the hands to the low back, fingers point down. We're just going to take a little standing back bend. You don't want your feet too close, but not too wide either. Little softness in your knees. Tilt the pelvis forward. Lift and lengthen that torso. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift the heart. Maybe the head drops back, and you can take that whole sequence again. Flesh behind you gets pressed down. Hips forward 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen from the pelvis all the way to the breastbone and the rib cage. Squeeze the shoulder blades. They love each other. Heart reaches for the sun. Head drops back. Belly in, shoulders over the hips. I am warm enough to remove a layer. And remember, like always, this is your practice. I am your guide. Doesn't mean you have to do everything I offer. And you can always go into child's pose or tabletop if that is helpful for you at any period of time during the practice. Arms lift high. Breathe out, forward fold. Hands to the shins. And a forward fold. We step back to a down dog. Going right there, we find a little pedaling in and out. Nice wide fingers. Belly in. Hips lifted. Inhale. Peel forward to your plank and pause. I know we're in plank. Karen, where's the lunge? We will get there. Lift your hips, down dog. Peel forward, breathe in, plank. Knees can drop if you need. Exhale, down dog. And once more, inhale forward to your plank. This time, drop your knees and find your child's pose. Narrow knee or wide knee, your choice. Stretching out the tops of the feet. Stretching the shoulders. Lengthening the spine. The breath fills the lungs, and that little overflow you send right to the low back, as if the low back gets wider hip to hip. Now, the one direction we have not moved the spine is a tilt. So we're going to come to the fingertips, lift the head a teeny bit, breathe in. Exhale, crawl the hands off the mat to the right, and then bring your forehead back down. If you like, you might place the palm of the right hand on the back of the left, and draw your left sitting bone right to the heel. Breathe, breathe, breathe. We inhale, crab walk the hands to the center. Exhale, they go to the other side, and the head settles. Inhale to center. Tabletop. Cat shape, cow shapes. We're getting closer to our lunges here. Maybe I should have named it lungs and lunges, since we're doing a lot of breath work first, so that we can bring ourselves to focus on it and allow it to help us out. When you crunch or fold forward, that's an exhale. When you arch your back or lift up, that's generally an inhale. A steady, straight spine. Pause. Draw the belly in, press the tops of the feet to the earth, and then tap the feet on the ground. Then you can pause. We're going to shift back a little bit and place the backs of the hands onto the mat with the fingers pointing toward your knees. You don't want to be in a full tabletop length. And then, if you can, a little rocking forward and backward so that the entire back of the hand gets a little massage and a stretch. You might feel this also in your thumbs. If you're super stretchy in your outer wrists, you can make fists with your fingers. That is not for everyone. Now we're going to take the palms back to the earth, and the fingers will face either outward or in some fashion toward your knees. And again, we're in a very short tabletop shape so that we're not overextending the fingers, the hands, the thumbs, the inner arms, and the wrists. You may find a rocking back and forth feels good here. Returning to our tabletop, we float the right leg off the mat. We square up the hips, reach that leg nice and long, draw the belly in, and float the left arm in front. I promise you we are getting closer to the lunges. Knee and elbow draw together. Take your time, round your spine. That's a breath out. Inhale, extend. The hand returns to the mat, but the leg floats above the other leg. You might peek over the shoulder. Maybe you see your toes. You're going to place the shoelace side of your right foot onto the ground outside to the left of your mat. You're going to scoot your right hip backward with the leg until the front of that hip is somewhere close to the heel of the left foot. You can be on forearms here. You want to make some real estate between your shoulders. You could take some sort of cat-cow movement here or not, but either way, imagine you are pressing so much of your forearm into your hands and your fingers into the mat that you're almost drawing the mat backward. Opening up the left glutes. We're going to return to a three-legged tabletop. Draw the right knee toward the right elbow, maybe above it. Inhale, extend. And then the knee comes to the mat. A little wiggle, a little waggle, maybe hip circles. We're going to move into half of a twist. The left arm will float high. And then we thread the needle behind the right wrist. Maybe scooting the right hand forward. You're coming on to perhaps your left tricep or shoulder. Lengthening your neck. Remain here for a few breaths before you take any version of this. And if you'd like a modification for a bigger challenge, you might extend your right leg with the toes on the mat. You might lift the right leg. You might bend the right knee and open up your hips. None of those is required. The right knee returns to the mat. The left palm comes, the right palm under your right shoulder, and we unravel from that little pretzel into some cats and cows. A nice long straight back. Left leg floats behind it as if you're stepping on the wall. Square up the hips. Activate your left glutes and quad and hamstrings. Belly in, right arm floats in front. And we pause. And the right hand comes down. We sweep the left leg over the right calf, peek over the right shoulder, shoelace side of your foot onto the earth, glide the foot, the leg, the hips back, front of the left hip as close to the right heel as possible. Cats and cows if you like. Drawing the energy of the hands and the forearms backward, connected to the earth. Three-legged tabletop. The knee draws above the elbow on the same side. It might tap, it might not. Extend. Knee to the mat. And we take another child's pose. Tabletop. Check that the knees are directly below your hips. We're going to move into a lunge from a very different spot, which is the tabletop. You're going to go ahead and take your right foot and place it outside your right hand. Knee stacked over the ankle. You're going to stay low here with your chest reaching forward and up and the belly drawing in and the shoulders reaching toward your hips. So I'm going to pause here. Keeping your feet where they are, you're going to lengthen your right leg, bringing your bottom back and floating the ball of the foot off the mat. Then you're going to roll forward and place the ball of the foot back on the mat and bring your knee forward toward your toes. I'm going to take that again. Come back, breath out, lift the toes, breath in. Breathe out, foot to the ground, heart forward, knee forward. It's a little rocking motion. And again. Knee comes over the ankle, left hand stays down, right arm floats high. Big toe mound of that right foot presses to the earth. Engage your left glute. Half bind, hand wraps around behind you, comes toward your left hip. Right hand to the mat. We're going to come back to our tabletop. Cats and cows. And again, coming to our knee down lunge, a form of Anjaneyasana, your low lunge, left foot forward. Left knee above the left ankle. Pause, maybe on your fingertips or with blocks under your hands. Extend your front leg, bottom comes backward, lift the toes off the mat. Come forward, breathe out, heart forward, knee forward. Breathing in, we exhale, lengthen the leg. Toes peel away. Come forward, breathe out, knee forward, heart forward. Once more. Stack the knee over the ankle, right hands or fingertips stay down, left arm floats high. We're using the big toe mound of that front foot to keep the knee pointing forward. Breath in, long spine, breath out, twist. Half bind. Left hand drops, tuck your back toes under, and step forward to a forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold, a little sway left and right, or bind if you like it. Noggin is nice and loose. I'm talking into my t-shirt because it's over my nose. If you have a bind release, we come to stillness, halfway lift. Forward fold, rise to standing. Chair pose, yay! Utkatasana. Arms can be wherever it feels okay for you. That might be overhead, maybe in a cactus shape, maybe by your sides. The sitting bones are reaching behind and down. It's as if your thighs are spinning toward each other. We'll move into a twist. Right arm forward, left arm behind. Keep your hips square as much as possible. Inhale, front and center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, rise up. Breathe out for your forward fold, a halfway lift. Forward fold. The left leg steps way to the back of the mat and runner's lunge. We're going to take a different motion here, keeping the knee above the ankle, keeping the heart reaching forward and the belly lifting up. We're going to tap the back knee and then lift the leg. Tap the back knee, lift the leg. Tap the back knee, stay there, untuck your toes, bring your hands to your thigh. If you feel wobbly, that front foot can heel toe out toward the side of your mat. Hands can drop down, come into cactus, or be overhead. We are in our full Anjaneyasana, or a version of that. We're going to twist again. Left arm forward, right arm behind us. Arms come overhead. Half split. Hands around your front foot or behind it. Lengthen your front leg. Peel the toes away. And imagine now that you're dragging your mat back with your heel. And the sole of the foot comes to the mat. We tuck our back toes under and spin to the long edge of the mat. Toes in, heels out, half lift. Forward fold. We're going to spin come halfway up, so you're on your fingertops, belly in, sitting bones back, and now we're going to walk our way to the back of the mat, so our opposite foot is in front. Runner's lunge. Knee drops, it just taps. Lift up, runner's lunge. Knee taps. Exhale, runner's lunge. Inhale, knee taps, stay here, untuck your toes. We'll take our full Anjaneyasana. Hands on your thighs, shoulders stacked over your hips. Right arm forward, left arm behind. Twist. Front and center, arms overhead, half split. A little harder to do when you have an ankle brace on. Foot down, back toes tuck. This time pyramid pose. You're going to lift your hips high. Shorten your stance so your back foot is in a warrior one stance. Draw your left hip back and your right hip forward, fold over your leg. Parsvottanasana. Hands come to your hips, rise halfway up. Long, long, long spine, rise all the way up. Standing pyramid, arms up overhead. Center of your chest toward your left knee. You're going to keep your arms overhead if you can and fold halfway down. Maybe it's not quite halfway. If you're gripping the mat with your toes, see if you can loosen up. And now fold all the way down. You might find you have a little more space to work with here. Noggin is loose. Rise halfway
Bring your left hand toward your right calf, knee, or ankle. And bring your hand down. Now walk to the long edge of your mat. Your stance is slightly shorter. And then spin toward the front of the mat, coming into Parsvottanasana on the other side. Hands to your hips, rise halfway up. Rise all the way up. Find your balance, standing pyramid. Center of your chest toward your right knee this time. Shift forward, hips back, halfway down. All the way down, breathe out. Right hand toward your left knee, calf, or ankle. Right hand plants, step forward, forward fold, chair pose, Utkatasana. I know it wasn't in the description, was it? Hands to your heart, rise up. We're going to shift onto the right foot to come into a version of tree. So the left knee will rise up toward your chest, activate your left foot. If you like, you might move that knee over to the left first and then place the foot not on the knee, the calf or the thigh. And if you fall out of it, like I just did, you fall out of it. You work to come back into it. I'm falling out of it a lot. We're going to shift the heart forward, a sort of partial bird airplane, and step back into a runner's lunge once again. The right knee is forward, stacked over the ankle. We're going to tap the back knee again and then lengthen the legs. Hover over your thigh. We all fly, and hands are by your sides. Open up the chest, draw the belly in and up. Squeeze the left glutes, rise up your high lunge crescent warrior. Really squeeze the left glutes and the left hamstrings. Step into chair pose, Utkatasana. Rise up to standing. Hands to your heart. We'll take our tree or adjusted tree, short tree, long tree, wide tree, small tree, leafy tree, bare tree. Airplane bird, maybe warrior 3. Stepping into your runner's lunge. Get yourself situated and hover. Rise up for your crescent warrior, your high lunge. Step into chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, lift to standing. Breathe out, forward fold. You might swan dive. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We step back for our high plank. This is the only vinyasa in the class. Maybe you lower your knees or not for your low plank. Find your way into a back bend, up dog or cobra, and make your way to down dog. Three cleansing breaths. Right leg floats off the mat. Step the foot inside, sorry, I'm on the wrong side. Step the foot inside your hand. Maybe use your hands like I am to get it there. Runner's lunge. Back knee drops to the mat. Untuck your toes, Anjaneyasana. Cactus arms. Eagle arms. Humble. Hands inside your right foot. Heel toe the foot out to the right. Point the toes to the right. And a lizard twist. Pelvis forward. Press that right knee away from you. And take a look over the right shoulder. Hips back, right toes point forward, left hand drops inside your right foot. Tuck your back toes under. We're taking a wide-legged runner's lunge. Bring your back foot to a warrior one posture. We're going to float the left arm high, finding an extended side angle. Drag that right foot back, just sort of energetically. Drop your left hand, bring your hands to your hips, rise up. We're finding our way into warrior one. A version of the high lunge. Working slightly different muscles on that back leg. Maybe you feel the inner thigh here. Squaring your hips as much as possible to the front of the room. Hands frame your front foot. We're going to rise into a three-legged down dog with the right leg lifted. Open up your down dog, if that's part of your practice. Square your hips, lengthen your leg, knee to nose, shoulders shift forward, extend your leg, and the foot returns to the mat. Breath in, and out. Left leg floats high. Runner's lunge. Back knee taps. Back leg extends. Back knee taps, full Anjaneyasana. Cactus arms. Eagle arms other way. And if you don't remember, go with the awkward way. Elbows lift. Humble. Both hands inside your left foot. Heel toe the foot over to the edge of the mat. Point the toes to the right. Walk your right to the left. Walk your right hand forward a little bit. Press the pelvis forward and your lizard twist. Left hand plants. Left toes point forward. Back toes tuck under. Lift your right knee and then place your right foot on the ground in a warrior one angle. Extended side angle, right arm high. Right hand down. Set yourself up. Coming to a warrior one. Exhale, hands plant. We step back for a three-legged down dog. And open up the down dog. Extend your leg. We're going to come into a pigeon, drawing your left knee behind your left wrist, planting your left shin on the mat, working to get it as parallel to the front of the mat as works for you. And scoot that right leg straight out of the right hip. Find your way to a back bend. You're squeezing your right glutes, lifting your heart. If you have something deeper, like king pigeon, take it here. I'm going to grab a block and place it under my left sitting bone. When you are ready, you can fold over your shin. Maybe bring your forearms to a block. Maybe prop your head on a block or your hands. Allowing the cadence of the breath to slow down. One at a time, the hands plant. If you have a prop underneath, you can remove it. Tuck your back toes, come back into a three-legged dog. And the foot returns to the mat, down dog. Readjust as need be. Right leg floats high. And your half pigeon on the side. Some people call this pigeon. Call it half pigeon. So we're going to find our back bend first. Don't worry, I realize we didn't do the tabletop twist on both sides. So for now, we're going to find a back bend, and we will get to the tabletop twist. And fold when you're ready. Like a kitty cat or a puppy finding its place in its bed or on your bed. Hands plant under your shoulders. Remove any proppage. We're going to come into our final down dog, a three-legged one with the right leg lifted. Draw the knee to the nose. Inhale, extend. Downward dog. Tabletop. Cat shapes, cow shapes. Any shapes you like shapes. The left hand is slightly forward of the left shoulder. We float the right arm high. Thread the needle for your twist. Left hand comes under your left shoulder, unravel. And bring your hand down. We're going to find our way to a seat. You might crawl forward. Cross your ankles. Roll over them. come to a seat. Soles of feet on the mat. Palms on your kneecaps. Lift your heart. Tuck your tailbone, draw your belly in, and slowly make your way all the way down to the mat. We're going to move into a twist and then a happy baby before we go to Shavasana. So we're going to go ahead and take the right knee and cross it over the left. Scoot the left foot over to the right of your mat and drop the left knee out to the left, bringing the sole of the right foot as close to the ground as possible. Arms can flop out in a T, and the gaze will be over the right shoulder if that works for your body. We take a huge breath in, empty the lungs. A few cycles of effortless breath here. Point your nose toward the sky and heel toe that left foot over to the left so the sole of the foot is back on the mat. You're going to hug your right knee in and bring your right foot to the ground. Left ankle crosses above the right knee. Left knee crosses above the right knee. And we move the knees over to the right. So that the sole of the left foot maybe is touching the ground. It might not be. Shoulder blades are kissing the ground. Arms flop out. Gaze to the left if possible. Cleansing breath. Empty your lungs. Excuse me. Nose points back toward the sky. Heel toe the right foot over to the right. Hug your left knee in toward your chest and then find your happy baby. Or if you prefer, just hug your knees to your chest. You might find legs up the wall, feels good. Maybe you rock left and right to massage out the low back. Then any final movement or shape that your body is calling for, take it here. And find your way into your Shavasana posture. Maybe traditional with legs extended, space between the feet, the feet flop out. Shoulder blades connected to the earth, palms up. Space between the arms and the side bodies, another huge lung full of air so we can release any remaining toxins or tension. Shavasana. Inhale. Release. Zip the legs up. Lift the arms overhead. Point the toes forward. Reach the fingers back. Full body pencil stretch. Gently find your way to your seat, maybe making your way to one side first. Meeting in Sukhasana, easy pose. The hands gather together and they come toward your heart. Come back to your intention, your motivation, your incentive. Pick one of those things. And consider what you'd like to take off the mat with you today, or tonight, or whatever time it is you're practicing. We'll close the practice with the sound of Om, which not only seals the practice in for us, but it also shares the merits outward to all beings, whether they need a little extra love or not. All the air releases from the lungs. A huge breath in. Thumb knuckles connect at your center forehead. May your lungs be filled with beautiful nourishment that you can share outward on the breath. Namaste. Heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you who joined live and who might be watching the recording or hopefully practicing with the recording. I am Karen, coming to you from Vermont, Salt and Sand Studios in Warren, right near the Warren Falls. If you would like to donate and have the funds, you can do so on our website. There's a donate button there. And if you are ever in the area, would love to see you live. If you don't see an available time for you that's convenient for you on the site, sometimes I can accommodate. So you could always drop a note to contact at saltandsandstudios.com or give us a call. Have a great one. Thank you. Ciao.